What a headshot! What a head!
How's it guys, this is Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. Now in this video, I'll be taking you through my transfer plan for the upcoming Game Week 18. So I just landed back from holiday for a week yesterday, so now we're able to approach these upcoming festival period game weeks head on. And you guys know there's so many over the next couple days. So in this video, I'll be taking you through my transfer plan for Game Week 18, also taking a look at Game Week 17 and how we got on in that respective game week, as I didn't make too much content for Game Week 17 at all. Then after those two talking points, I'll be heading into my transfer plan, which might be a -4 thanks to that Saka injury, and discuss my current team selection and how the team is currently looking. So if that's something you guys are interested in, sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. So Game Week 17, as mentioned, not a lot of content was created on my behalf, and as mentioned, I was on holiday. But don't worry, I'm back from that break, and now we can head into Game Week 18, 19, and 20, which happened quite quickly. So Game Week 17, I managed to get 79 points total, which saw a red arrow to the 59k mark. And I was honestly expecting a little bit more of a red arrow after that Isaac hat-trick. So yes, unfortunately, I don't own the Newcastle striker, so my Saturday was pretty grim. But thanks to some players over on Sunday, we managed to redeem it to only a 9k red arrow. Obviously not what you guys want to see, but I guess going to Christmas, red isn't too bad. Let me know in the comments down below how many points you guys scored, as well as what the overall rank is looking like heading into that Christmas period. Now with one eye on Game Week 18, one free transfer, but 0.2 in the bank, so only a slight upgrade can be made if you want to do it. And also just want to shout out, I think in the transfer plan for Game Week 17, the final rank was in concrete. After Game Week 16, I dropped in rank to about the 50k mark. Just wanted to clarify that if you guys have been following the rank or the transfer plans as the game weeks go by. Let's hope for some more green arrows though going into the festive period. Now starting off on our bench, and the big benching dilemma this week you guys can ask my Discord legend members, was starting Semenyo or Enzo. So originally I had Semenyo in the squad, and as you guys can see, a lovely 8-pointer, finally getting his goal that we've been waiting so long for. I decided to go all in on Chelsea though, as they were looking to go top of the table, and since I already owned 2 Chelsea attackers, decided to add a third. Not the decision we kind of wanted, but I guess only 5 points in it, and then we have the lot with 1 point and Greaves with 0. So don't you know what's happening with Greaves, although I think conceding 4 goals to Newcastle might create some kind of defensive shakeup. So let's see if he's in the squad for Game Week 18. Then Fabianski conceded but also got a few save points, taking him to a 3-pointer, and that was matched by Raya with 3 points. Now yet again, a super annoying kind of 1 goal conceded for Arsenal. They ended up winning 5-1, so that 1 goal was pretty irrelevant, and that wiped out the clean sheet of our double Arsenal defense. Now at least Raya got a save point, and then Gabriel got an assist, so I guess it didn't really blank according to the definition. Would have loved though the extra clean sheet, as it would have helped this game week, but I guess the Arsenal defense is quite highly owned. Then Trent continued the trend of conceding but getting an assist for a 4-pointer. Not too mad because he did concede 3 goals to Spurs. Now super annoyed as a Liverpool fan, I booked my flight at 6:30 yesterday when the Liverpool game started, so I probably missed the game of the season. Not from a defensive point of view, obviously from an attacking point of view, as it ended 6-3, and Trent only got 1 assist. Then Robinson, the new transfer in, we brought him in actually a week ago about for Aït-Nouri after the red card. Now I probably would have loved if I waited a bit and I went for Castagne. Comes in around 0.5 cheaper, but I guess both of them match each other in Game Week 17. Robinson was very close, just 1 bonus point off getting a bonus point, so just the 6-pointer. Quite happy with how this went though, other replacements didn't do as well. Let's see what he can do in the future game weeks. Now midfield department, it seems like every time I review the midfield department, the first player and the best player is Mo Salah, just having an absolutely massive FPL season. So I do feel sorry for you guys if you didn't captain Salah. I was close to captaining Palmer, but was on Salah for the last few days, and a massive 42-pointer or 21-pointer if you guys didn't captain him. Just on remarkable form at the current moment, don't you have to discuss the Camsey anymore, he's simply the set and forget at the moment. Now as mentioned, I missed the Liverpool game. I'm going to rewatch the highlights, probably the whole fixture, probably going to be the game of the season. Now unfortunately next up we have Saka, who went off injured in the first 20 minutes, and actually looks like he might be out for quite a while with the hamstring strain. Now no concrete information at the moment, but does look like it might be a long injury, And obviously with Semenyo with the 8-pointer, kinda wish Saka didn't feature at all. So definitely the biggest talking point about Game Week 18 is who you're going to replace Saka with, and I'll discuss that shortly in my transfer plan. Then next up we can talk about the two Chelsea midfielders at the same time. It's called Palmer as well as Enzo. So both players unfortunately blanking except for the clean sheet point in a game that they could have had a lot more returns. Now speak about Nicholas Jackson a bit later on, but it was thanks to him that Enzo and Palmer didn't get assists, as he missed quite a few big chances in this fixture. So Chelsea dropping points, I went for the punt, I hoped they would score, and to be honest they probably should have with all that XG that they got. I guess just one of those games, one of those days, but unlucky not to get returns from any of them. Then our striker department, the big topic about Game Week 17 was Cunha and his ban. He managed to play Game Week 17 though, as he didn't get his kind of sentence yet. I was pretty thankful that he did play this game. Leicester was a great fixture, a 9-pointer thanks to 3 bonus points. Pretty actually insane how he managed to get 3 bonus points when his teammate got a goal plus an assist. Don't you know how that happened at all? But I'll definitely be taking those points straight to the bank, as I needed them after that Isaac Hattie. Now I've spoken about this enough, but Jackson missed a few big chances. Definitely should have scored a few in this fixture. So yes, we might be a little bit unlucky, but I guess his finishing isn't the best. But his blank actually blocked off Enzo plus Palmer points. So super disappointed when I saw the stats and saw the chances he had, and now I'm kind of worried about his starting place and potential rotation in those future Chelsea fixtures. Then the final player, João Pedro in the starting 11, has been an absolute stinker. Since bringing him in, I think he's blanked every single week. He is quite cheap though, but even at the cheap price point, I'm expecting a few more returns. Don't you know what to do with him at the moment? I guess I'll just keep on playing him as long as he has good fixtures. With his blank though, and the blanks on the majority of my squad, you guys can see why I was expecting a big red arrow. But thankfully only a 9k red arrow to the 59k mark. Let me know how your game week went and if it was a banger or a terrible one. Now before we go over the transfer plan with that 1 free transfer and 0.2 in the bank, I want to give you guys a showcase of my team selection with no transfers made. Now obviously if we do choose to roll a transfer, this will be my current team selection. However, with that Saka injury, that's pretty unlikely, as it looks like that might be a medium to long term injury. Now I'm going to keep Saka in my starting 11 just because whoever I replace him with will definitely be starting for me, and I'll go over those replacements later in the video. Now the bench this week kind of picks itself. The only tough case might be benching Enzo, although Fulham have been a pretty strong team this season. Then Robinson against Chelsea, our own Palmer and Jackson, so hoping they score, so pretty comfortable benching him this game week. Then finally Greaves, even if he does feature Arsenal away, is a very tough game, and even though Fabianski's got Southampton, Raya has Ipswich. Then I've also doubled up with Gabriel for that Arsenal defense, and against Ipswich, pretty high likelihood of a clean sheet. Then that backline is completed by Trent. Leicester at home is a great fixture, before finally the lot against Wolves, who I'm not too happy about. Now if Cunha is suspended or at least banned for the next few games, we'll make starting the lot slightly easier. Then our midfield department, no questions about it, Mo Salah captain against Leicester at home. This could be quite a few goals for Liverpool. If you guys have your triple cam C, I wouldn't even be too scared of using it this week. There might be some rotation over the festive period, but I'm pretty sure Salah gets the majority of minutes. I don't even have to talk about Salah too much anymore because it's a no-brainer, but the next player, Saka, is a bit of a tougher debate. Now at the moment, no concrete news of how long he's going to be out for, but rumours suggesting a minimum of 6 weeks. Now if that is the case, definitely will be a sell in my opinion. He just holds too much value, and I can use that downgrade to go for some other upgrades in my forward department. Now very unlucky that this has come before Ipswich at home, which is a great fixture, and definitely would have loved if Saka played this one. The next up, called Palmer. Fulham at home is a tough game. I'm hopefully expecting Chelsea to get back on the winning way of things, and let's hope that Cole Palmer's involved. Then I'll be starting Semenyo, got his goal in Game Week 17, let's hope he can get his first Hattie in Game Week 18, playing against Crystal Palace who have just conceded 5 to Arsenal. Now Bournemouth also look pretty strong, just come off a 3-0 win to Manchester United. Let's see if Semenyo continues this form. Then up front, I'm starting Cunha at the moment, but his ban might come in effect for Game Week 18. All eyes on that one, pretty sure it'll come soon though. Now if he is okay to play on Friday, Manchester United at home is a very strong game. They've been conceding a few and I like that Wolves attack at the moment. Now obviously if he is banned, I will replace him or just bench him. Luckily enough, I've got Enzo on my bench. Then next up Jackson, hoping that he does play, but if he is benched isn't the end of the world, as if he is benched next week's a certainty, and that's Ipswich. But let's see what happens though, not super confident after a pretty bad game. We'll probably just hold on to him for those better fixtures. Then also João Pedro, Brentford at home, I simply have to play him. Brentford not a good defensive side, I can see Brighton scoring quite a few. There might be some rotation here and there, but I do believe João Pedro is more of an important player for them. Their attack though hasn't been great at the moment. This starting 11 on paper does look pretty strong, all home fixtures, obviously except for the lot who has Wolves away. Now if Cunha is banned and Jackson doesn't feature, this team looks worse and worse, and that's why this week I might be forced to use a -4 hit. Let's go on to those transfer plans and discuss why the Saka injury has come about at a bad time. Really wish he was here for the Ipswich game. So the transfer plan this week heavily revolves on the fact that Saka's replacement needs to be selected, and I am looking at a downgrade at the moment. This downgrade will give me enough money to do some upgrades for a -4 hit, and I'll speak about my main one later in the video. Now if we get news that Saka has miraculously recovered, it's a Christmas miracle, and he's back for the Ipswich game, definitely will be keeping him for that one. But at the moment I've got 3 replacements lined up that all come in around the 8.0 million mark. Let's talk about the first one, Bruno Fernandes. So honestly I do believe that Bruno is probably the most consistent option in this new formation, as playing quite forward. Even though he might not play there every game, I do like to take my chances. Now the only worrying factor is that they've got Newcastle and Liverpool in the next 3, so in terms of fixtures, probably the worst asset. That Wolves game though, this upcoming week does look pretty strong, and even though they lost against Bournemouth in game week 17, Bruno put up some good numbers. So I would probably say that Bruno is at the moment my #1 replacement. I just like the fact that he's so nailed on penalties, and is generally quite a talisman for them. Only problem though is this is Manchester United. That's why my second replacement, Luis Diaz, is kind of raising my eyebrows. The only question mark about him might be expected minutes. But what you're getting is a Luis Diaz who might come off the bench, even in limited minutes, he could do some damage. And less than game week 18 if he starts this one, could be a cricket score. As with the future fixtures, Liverpool's fixtures are simply great, and they do have double game week 24 penciled in. So is it worth at the moment to bring in Luis Diaz, avoid a free transfer for game week 24, but I guess by then we might have more information about who's more nailed. So that's why Diaz comes in second, as I like the kind of explosive nature of him, playing for a better squad, just the expected minutes question mark. Then the final player is a like-for-like switch, probably worse though with Odegaard, as if you guys have seen his points per game this season, nothing too great. What you are getting though is probably a penalty taker in Saka's absence, and Arsenal do have some good fixtures coming up. One interesting talking point is actually Brentford away is now a pink fixture. Don't necessarily know if I agree with that. But some better fixtures coming up for Odegaard, but I probably would say I would rather go for Bruno Fernandes over him, as to me the United fixtures actually look pretty on par. So that's my current thinking at the moment. I might actually be forced to do a transfer tonight if there are any price changes, and that's for my upgrade and my second transfer. Let me know in the comments down below though, who's your Saka replacement at the moment? Is it Bruno, Diaz, Odegaard, or maybe a full Foden? So many routes that you guys can actually go for. Now the upgrade I want to talk about is going to be if Cunha's ban does come into effect, I could have enough funds if I go for Odegaard, Diaz, or Bruno Fernandes to bring in Isaac at 8.9 million. So literally the price rises that Isaac has had over the previous game weeks is simply insane. The last graphic I had with him, he was 8.6 million. So even if Cunha is okay for game week 18, the fixtures look simply terrible, and Isaac just seems unstoppable at the moment. So yes, this would be from -4, but I do believe this kind of sets us up better for the future game weeks, and at least now if Jackson does miss out, we can get Enzo off the bench. So this transfer, as mentioned, I can just afford it with Bruno Fernandes. I've got 0.1 if I go for Odegaard. Luis Diaz gives me a bit more value to play with. But you guys let me know what you think about these moves, as well as what your own transfer plans are. Just a reminder, game week 18 is coming quite quickly. Also let me know how game week 17 went, was it a green arrow, red arrow, all that good stuff. And I'll be seeing you guys for the team selection probably tomorrow or on Christmas. Otherwise, if I don't see you guys again, have a blessed festive period, and I'll see you guys for the game week 18 deadline stream coming up 1 hour before the deadline. This is basically a wrap for the video guys, hope you guys did enjoy it. Please don't like it and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Content still to come, so make sure those notifications are turned on. But for the time being, I'm signing off. It's been Dayvy FPL, and I'm out. Cheers, bye.